So one of the things that we want to talk about this week was building self-confidence. Well, that's kind of like every podcast episode that we're going to be doing. But this one, we wanted to particularly focus on the idea of you versus you.
Yes, the two wolves inside of you battling it out.
Yes. And the reason why we want to talk about that was because earlier this week, I was thinking a little bit about what my teacher had told me about how, like, in a story, hashtag our lives, that there are like two different types of characters that are in conflict with one another. And usually it's like you versus machine, or you versus nature, or you versus society, or you versus someone else. But the biggest conflict is you versus you.
I also think that's probably the most interesting conflict in a book. Like,
Yeah.
they have a past.
Yeah, like it's like Harry Potter. Yes, he is battling Voldemort. But also, he's like battling this... Fuck, what is he battling? That might be like a really bad one.
Yeah.
Okay, Captain Kirk from Star Trek, my favorite movie. He is battling... the kill... Oh my god. He's battling the other fucking aliens, okay? What is it called? Killigons? No, oh my god, I'm so fake. What the fuck? I'm like forgetting about it.
This is crazy because he loves Chris Pine.
Yeah, I literally have watched Star Trek 2009 11 times. Right, he's also battling the other aliens that are like really bad, but he's also battling this like self-doubt inside of himself. You know, he's also battling the fact that he like lost his dad in the beginning of the story. Do you have any other examples? I feel like these were terrible examples.
God, I think To All the Boys I've Loved Before is the movie I've been thinking about. I guess the you versus you is that like Lara Jean wants to be with Peter, but she also has a lot of deep-rooted insecurity in that she's not Peter's first girlfriend, and she's trying to like enjoy having a relationship with him and build that connection with him, but at the same time she's also battling like all these self-doubts that she has, that she's a good girlfriend or that she's worthy of him.
Oh shit, I didn't know it was that deep. I thought she was just like writing letters.
I don't know, it's that deep.
Okay, so yeah, anyway, so like in stories there's like a you versus you, and that's the thing that I wanted to focus on this week, because like recently I've been thinking about all the habits that I have that can really improve my life if I fucking didn't have them. It's that bad. And like one of them is like, let's say, rotting in bed. Right, like raise your hand if you rot in bed.
Professor.
Yeah, like, you know, I feel like all of us, hashtag Gen Z, like we rot in bed. Like we've lived in social media land.
No, it's bad. Like sometimes I'll just be like brushing my teeth or cooking, and I'll be like looking,
Scrolling.
and I'm like my thumb is moving, and
Bro.
I'm not even processing anything.
Bro, and you know what's like the worst part about that is that like when you're like, let's say you're brushing your teeth and you're like scrolling, and then you have to do something that you can't use your fingers, but it's like it's stuck on a really bad like video, and it's like looping over and over again, and I'm like I'm stuck in hell.
And the thing is that you could just turn it off. But I have like the habit of doom scrolling or just being overstimulated all the time is so strong, where I'm like, no, I need to listen to something. I can't brush my teeth if I don't listen to a TikTok.
No, for sure. Like, give me a pane of glass and my thumb is gonna fucking start moving. So yeah, that's one of the bad habits I've had, and I wanted to stop that, but I felt like the you, again, me, right? My adversary, my enemy, has been like fucking strong as hell. And I was trying to think about like, how do I stop this bad habit? How do I do that without like turning to Atomic Habits? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I also think when it comes to like removing habits, people, or like changing your habits, people are just like, remove it, stop.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, but you need to like replace it or something, because I'm like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do every time I'm in bed like for 30 minutes? Like I'll just be in bed for 30 minutes. Like, no, I'm just gonna go back to doom scrolling because I haven't replaced that habit.
No, for sure. And so I was like reflecting on that, and I realized to myself that like, hey, I am strong. I don't know if I'm stronger than my you, right? Because we're the same person, but I am as strong as they are, right? And so like the person who is like forcing me to doom scroll, who is forcing me to like rot in bed, who is forcing me to be negative about myself, who is forcing me to self-doubt myself, is as strong as I am, and I am as strong as they, right? So that's what we're talking about, and it's going to be a pretty interesting episode. But before we get started, I wanted to introduce ourselves. We are Fantastic. We are a self-improvement podcast hosted by two siblings
who are also best friends.
And also best friends. My name is Ian Solano.
I'm Joie Solano, and cue the intro.
So anyways, back to what I was talking about, right? This whole idea of like, how do I reframe some of these habits so that way I can actually tackle them? And the best way that I thought about that was like earlier this week, as I was journaling, I really distilled my 3 habits that I really wanted to work on and figured out how to reframe them so that they benefit me more. So I'm going to just jump right into it. The first one is I have this terrible time management problem where I'm always scrolling on TikTok. If it's not TikTok, it's YouTube. If it's not YouTube, it's Instagram. If it's not any of those, it's Pinterest, bro. I am one of those people that like, I'm like, fuck, I need to like not be on TikTok. I do that in the morning, right? Maybe for an hour. I do that at night for sure for an hour as I'm brushing my teeth, as I'm like doing all of these things. And I'm like, wait, I need to like really understand why the fuck this is happening. But more importantly, if we're trying to get back into the episode of like me versus me, you versus you, is that like, what is the characteristic? What is the trait? What is the power that my evil you has that I need to also have?
Yeah, and that you can twist in a positive way.
Yes. And that particular thing is that if I'm rotting in bed, then that means I have 1, the ability to make time, like to find and carve out time for that particular activity, and 2, to focus on that particular activity. And so I was like, wait a damn minute. I could do both of those things, but I can choose to do that thing on something that benefits me. And so what I did this week was that instead of scrolling on my phone, right, as I'm brushing my teeth, I picked up a book and I opened the book and I started reading the book. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. And then at night, instead of rotting in bed and like doom scrolling and shit, I would like open a journal and I would journal about how my day went and how I felt and what I want to do tomorrow. And I was like, wait, like it just came down to a choice of like, what do I want to use this power, which is again, being able to focus on something and carve out time for it. What do I want to focus on? And I chose me.
You chose you. Yeah.
I chose me. The second trait that I wanted to focus on, or the bad habit that I wanted to focus on, was my like negative self-talk. Like as someone who has been insecure, definitely a lot better now, but like someone who has insecurities, I think something negative that I do is like talking to myself like in a negative way, where I'm like, I might wake up in the morning and I notice like I have like really strong eye bags because I decided to rot in bed the night before. I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck, you know? Or if it's like, I just went to like a social event and I'm like, oh, why did I say that? Or like, why did I say that? Like I have this habit to talk about myself in a negative way to myself. Again, me versus me. And I was thinking about like, how am I going to reframe this so that way it doesn't really happen? And I thought about like, okay, what is the trait that this version of myself has that I can use to my advantage? Like, what is their power? And their power is their ability to notice, right? And ability to notice is inherently neutral. It's not good or bad. It's just the thing that is being used to talk to myself in a negative way.
Yeah.
And so what I did this week was that like, instead of like noticing the bad things, which is sometimes it just comes through habit, I also chose to look at the good things. Whether it's like, oh wow, that was like a really positive interaction that I just had with that random stranger. Or, oh my gosh, I look really good this week. Or it was like, oh, I really took the time to meal prep. Like just giving myself these like mini compliments in the small things that I notice that I'm doing well, that I want to be doing. It really uplifted my mood this whole week where I was like, oh wow, like my life is actually fucking awesome.
Yeah, and I think we talk a lot about how we should compliment other people and notice other people, and if we have something nice, we should say it. But we definitely
Compliment
don't.
yourself.
I don't do it enough.
Yeah.
At first, I thought you were gonna turn this into like my ability to have like self-criticism or negative talk is like my ability to just talk to myself.
No, Joey, that's your superpower. Okay, freaking weirdo. And I think it's like nice. Again, we have like these 2 wolves inside of us, and they both have the same trait. It's just, what are we choosing to do with that specific trait? And this week I chose to compliment myself. The final thing that I wanted to talk about was my habit of talking to myself with a lot of self-doubt. I think that's something that has like come because like how I grew up or just like in my environment where I'm just like kind of negative in that way, where like before I go to a party I'm like, oh my god, no one's gonna show up, no one is gonna enjoy themselves, it's gonna be terrible, it's gonna be so awkward. Or like at work, if I have like a really big project, I'm like, oh my gosh, what if I do like really terribly, you know, all of these small things where I'm like anticipating something in the future and I think negatively of what's gonna happen. Instead of doing that, again, I journaled and I was like, I was thinking about like, what is that trait? And the trait that I have, again, both the negative me and the positive me who are battling it out, the trait that they have is their ability to believe in something in the future. There's a quote that I saw on TikTok that said, both fear and confidence require you to believe in something that hasn't happened yet. And when I first read that, I was like, wait, this is so inspirational. Like, this is going to change my life. And it kind of does. Where I'm like, yes, I can decide that I want to look and believe in the positives that can possibly happen instead of the negative things, right? I could obviously be like, I'm going to be driving and I'm like, I might get into a car accident. Or I could just be like, I'm driving and it's going to be safe. You know, it's both things that haven't happened yet and no one knows what's going to happen, but I'm choosing to just look at the positive instead of looking at it at the negative. I think like when we went to this park earlier this week and it was really fun, and instead of me being like, oh my gosh, no one's gonna like me, like I'm gonna be so awkward, I just decided actually people are gonna fucking love me and I'm gonna like bring the vibes. And I did bring the vibes, actually, guys.
It was great. It was a really fun time.
Yeah. So I think it's like really beautiful, like your ability to look at all of these traits and understand that they're neutral traits. They're not inherently bad. You doom scrolling on your phone is a choice that you've made, but it's something that you could also reverse because you have the power of that trait. You know what I mean? And so to kind of recap, ultimately, it's a choice. It's not an easy choice by any means, but also it's a choice that you have that can empower you to actually make your life a little bit better. And so the same way that I chose this week to just like look at my negative habits and say like, hey, I have those traits for both the good me and the bad me, and I'm choosing the good me today. That's also something that you can do. So for your challenge this week, guys, I want you to catch yourself kind of in the moment of like a habit that you're doing that you don't want, whether it's like rotting in bed, time bad management, negative talk, or whatever it might be, and just say like, hey, I can choose to use this trait in a positive way that will benefit me for the future. If you liked this episode and you feel like it will benefit you, please comment, like, and subscribe. We really want to find people who are similar to us. So that's it. Bye. Okay.
Bye.